Governor Greg Abbott strikes again with his strategy of pounding sanctuary cities with illegal aliens. And the mayor of Chicago is blaming Texas for the border crisis, or blaming Greg Abbott. Let's check it out.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott has just sent a plane load of more than 100 asylum seekers to Chicago. He says he had to fly them because Mayor Brandon Johnson has obstructed the busing system. Kelsey Kernstein is live at O'Hare with those details. Kelsey, what are you seeing, and kind of what's the vibe there this morning?
Marky, that is exactly correct. City officials confirming that, in fact, a chartered plane coming from Texas has been sent to the Chicago O'Hare International Airport with more than 100 migrants. We have not seen the migrants here yet this morning, but we do know that Chicago officials, that they are working to find a place to shelter these incoming, what they're calling asylum seekers. Now, this is all according to flight tracking data and Chicago city officials, that the incoming private plane was chartered by the Texas Department of Emergency Management. City officials say that airport police got a call when the plane arrived, and that two unidentified people who were on the plane reportedly left in an Uber. Now, this is interesting. Texas Governor Greg Abbott taking to X saying, quote, "Sanctuary City Chicago started obstructing and targeting our busing mission. Texas will now expand our operation to include flights to Chicago." The Post going on to say, until Biden steps up to secure the border, we will continue to provide overwhelmed Texas border towns with much needed relief. Abbott also posting that his administration has bused nearly 83,000 migrants to sanctuary cities, and more than 24,000 of them have been sent to Chicago. This is all coming at a time when it's facing freezing temperatures outside.
And that's all this is. It is taking the pressure off of our communities here in Texas and sending people to sanctuary cities since they want to be so welcoming, and let them deal with it. That's all this is.
In Chicago, and Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson directed blame at Abbott for the death of a migrant child. Take a listen.
Here we go.
We have a governor, an elected official in the state of Texas that is placing families on buses without shoes, cold, wet, tired, hungry, afraid, traumatized. The governor of Texas needs to take a look in the mirror of the chaos that he is causing for this country.
As of this morning, hundreds of migrants, they are still awaiting shelter here in Chicago. And I have to point out, it is freezing cold levels outside. And we have reached out Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson's office for further comment on this now incoming chartered plane with more than 100 migrants. We are still waiting to hear back.
Thank you for watching.
All right, so he says Governor Abbott needs to take a look in the mirror. Take a look in the mirror and look at the chaos you've created in this country. It's actually not Governor Abbott's fault. It's actually your party's fault, Mayor Johnson. Your party is the reason for this. You are a sanctuary city, so you're also part of the problem. Your party, your city, your president, Joe Biden, who has allowed for this chaos at the border. We had 12,000 people the other day try to cross over because of this weak border policies under Joe Biden, and it's all intentional. It is all intentional. But first, let's get into some numbers, the exact numbers by city where these migrants are being placed by Governor Greg Abbott. 12,000 in Washington, D.C., 30,000 in New York City, 24,500 to Chicago, over 3,400 to Philadelphia, over 11,000 to Denver, 1,250 to Los Angeles. All these places are sanctuary cities, and the residents are starting. Look, New York is being overrun. They have about 100,000 people there who have come across the border, and 30,000 have come from Texas. So it's not all of us that is causing New York to go crazy. Look, you have Eric Adams going after Abbott the same way this mayor is. And there's also, there are people saying that he's going after black mayors. He's going after cities run by black people. No, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, Latino. If you're a sanctuary city, we're going to bring the southern border to your door. And we did that because we want to send a message. And this strategy has been very effective. Yes, it's not going to solve the problem. What it does is brings attention to the problem at the southern border. And the people of Chicago who are vote overwhelmingly Democrat and voted for Mayor Johnson are pissed off about this situation at the border. People coming into the city. Resources are being used, money is being used that could be used for the people of Chicago, the residents there, the people that live there their whole lives, that raise their families. They're being put on the back burner because of this issue. Look, I'm not against immigration. Look, my dad is from Guatemala. He's a citizen of the United States now. And I'm not against immigration. That's not look, somebody told me, you're too tough on the border. You need to become more moderate. All I have to say to that is, shh, 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 shh. I'm not going to become more moderate on anything if I'm not. If I have a tough stance on the border, it's because I don't like illegal immigration for various reasons. For one, it's illegal. Two, there are lots of problems that come with it. And yes, not everybody's bad that's coming across the border. But when you have people coming unchecked, unvetted, you don't know what you're going to get. Look what happens in Europe. They're trying to change the face of this nation. The way the way it happened in London, the way it's happening in Paris, when they have people coming in from across the border, other countries, unchecked, unfettered immigration. You could change the face of a nation because you have people who don't want to assimilate. You have people who don't want to assimilate, adapt to the culture, who don't want to bring anything good to the table. You're seeing a lot of violence in these big cities in Europe. You're seeing here in the United States. You're seeing certain people that have come across the border who have killed people, who have raped women, who have raped children, who have killed people by drunk driving. Yes, so that's the problem with illegal immigration, is that you don't know who's coming across the border. And yeah, American citizens can do these things, but you don't want millions of people coming across and changing small towns, changing big cities, changing things for the worse. That's the problem here. That's what could happen if you have unchecked illegal immigration. If you have people coming in the right way, who want to be here and bring something to the table, then that's a good thing. You have people who want to come to live the American dream, live the American way of life, buy a home, raise a family, go to college, build a business, contribute to society. Those are the people that we want here. We don't want people who are going to continue to live in third world conditions. You leave that at the door. You come here, you have to adapt the same way with Texas. We don't like people coming in from other states and trying to change our way of life here. You come to Texas, you become a Texan, you adapt to our way of life, and we'll embrace you. That's all it is. Keep Texas, Texas. That's all that's what that means. Keep Texas, Texas. But look, the thing is, Joe Biden has created such chaos at the border that is causing so many problems that a Democrat congressman here in Texas is being approached by his constituents saying, you need to do something about that border. These are people who live in the state of Texas who are telling a Democrat congressman this because they see the problems that it's creating. Look, we need to continue building the wall. We need to continue sending troops down there, like Governor Abbott has been doing. And he signed these bills, $1.5 billion more for border wall construction, overtime pay for these DPS agents, more troops and things like that. And the bill, the HB4, which will hopefully, potentially allow, if it doesn't get stopped, law enforcement agents, officers to arrest and prosecute people coming across the border. Hopefully that will slow things down until we can get a president back in office who's going to get things done. Because when President Trump was in office, we didn't have all these people who are on the terrorist watch list. That's another problem. You have a lot of people on the terrorist watch list under Joe Biden who've been caught at the border. How many got away? These people are going to sit here for 10, 12 years and plot and plan another attack. We don't want that. This is why the open border is the problem, is because it can create so many issues. Terrorism, like I just said, terrorism. You have drug cartels, human traffickers, things like that. That's why it is such a problem. It's not because I'm a racist, a bigot, and I don't want people coming here. It's not true, because my dad is from Guatemala. So how am I opposed to immigration? I'm not. So yeah, I'm going to leave the video right there. I just wanted to talk about what Governor Abbott is doing here in Texas to bring light to the situation, what he's done in the state to fight back. And this is how you fight back against these liberals, these Democrat cities, and these mayors who want to push this nonsense. You just bring it right to them. You fight fire with fire, and I like it. All right, guys, thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. See you next time. Thank you. Take care.